When do we involve parents in a child's education? Is it just to inform them of negative aspects such as negative behaviour or concerns about a child? How and when should we involve parents in your opinion? For those of you who are parents and educators, when do you want to be involved? Hi everyone, I'm Natalie from My Progression, and this video is going to explore what access we generally have to parents and 5 likely times you'll need to involve them. For ease, in this video I am going to use the term parents, but this is referring to any and all guardians, as your pupils' home lives may vary. It's easy to have access to parents in the primary setting, as children tend to be dropped off at school and picked up, so there's more opportunity to have a quick word at the school gate about something involving the parent. It might be something quite simple like a child who's been quiet and unusually unresponsive in class participation, so catching the parent at the end of the day to make them aware and to see if everything's okay will be helpful. This conversation will help you understand more about your pupil and will highlight any concerns to the parent. It could be they had a bad dream the previous night and it kept them up, so they were tired. Not a big concern, and probably a one-off. If they're consistently tired, then you'll need to raise this with your line manager, as that could be a deeper issue. As children progress through the education system, parents are less visible as their children grow in independence and take themselves to school. Parents are seen at parents' evenings and perhaps 1 or 2 face-to-face meetings a year. That's all the involvement you have with your pupils' parents. A great deal can be learnt from such meetings. You can quickly assess how involved and interested a parent is. You may glean some information about home which makes you understand the child better. You may have to deal with complaints and negative attitudes too, which is also insightful. Another great way to encourage involvement is with the Parent-Teacher Association, or PTA, which brings together parents, teachers and children to raise funds and strengthen the school community. Money raised is usually spent on things that the school budget doesn't cover. So whilst there are set times schools seek parental involvement and engagement, there are times when we need to actively contact parents and involve them throughout the year, and we'll explore these reasons today. Before involving a parent, always follow school protocols. Check with your line manager and discuss how to approach the situation. Think about whether you should do this on your own or with a colleague. Having 2 people there will give you support if it is a difficult conversation, and it might make you feel more confident. However, you should consider that having 2-on-1 might make the parent feel ambushed, ganged up on, and then react badly. And this also takes away the conversation between teacher and parent and makes it school and parent. See our video on dealing with parents for more on how to conduct these meetings. And whilst you're there, like, subscribe, and click on the bell to keep hearing more from My Progression. It's best practice to keep a log of communications, email, phone calls, to act as evidence of discussions and as a reminder of what has been discussed. A busy and hectic week can quickly make us forget the important details which may need to be recalled. So here's 5 main reasons you'll need greater involvement from parents. Number 1, behaviour. This is one of the main reasons for involving parents. This may be consistent and persistent, unacceptable and disruptive behaviour which is having an impact on the pupil's learning or even impacting on the learning within the class. Notifying parents of such behaviour opens up a line of communication which may shed some light on why this is occurring. Working in partnership with home can be an effective way of putting a support plan in place for all to work with. And this will ensure you're all singing from the same hymn sheet. Remember, the pupils we teach are someone's much loved and cared for child. Use your interaction with the parents to paint a picture of life outside of school. And this can be very informative and may give you some answers. Some parents will be supportive, whilst others in denial. But being solution focused and having a plan of action will help the conversation go smoothly. You'll likely need to suggest a follow-up phone call or a face-to-face meeting to continue working together for the good of the child. Number 2, concerns about attainment. The use of thorough assessment data can tell a story. Why has there been a sudden dip in attainment or a noticeable lack in homework being handed in? If the pupil is secondary age, then it could be worth asking them first. Is everything okay? I've noticed that recently you've not been handing in work set and wondered if there was something I can help you with. Their response will allow you to decide if you need to involve the parents and explore the reason for this, change in attitude or dip in attainment. If they're younger children and there is a change in how well they're developing and learning, you should alert your line manager, as there may be a developmental issue. A child may present socially and emotionally well, coping with the school day, but areas of learning are problematic, creating a barrier to their progress. This may be retention of knowledge, a language delay, or a general low attainment and working below age-related expectations. The school, usually through the Special Needs Coordinator or SENCO, will need to involve parents in exploring the possible concerns. Informing parents that there are concerns that could impact their child's achievements and attainments can be challenging. Face-to-face meetings, perhaps the SENCO and class teacher, a cup of coffee and a little informal chat can be the first involvement and prepare the way for more direct conversations. Remember, if you are not qualified to diagnose this, please don't try. But by seeking guidance before going to parents, you're ensuring you'll do this in the right way. Number 3, attendance. Attendance is logged each morning and afternoon. The school office will quickly see a pattern in attendance, and there'll be procedures to follow which may involve teachers or may be taken in hand by the attendance officer in your school. You may flag this up yourself before the attendance does get out of hand. A phone call informing the parents can be the first step in working together to support the situation. As mentioned, always keep a log of any communication with home, as not all parents will be open to working with the school. There is a real concern about school refusers currently, and this is a battle that some parents are fighting and schools are trying to manage. This often occurs in older children and may be linked to anxiety related to conditions. Occasionally, parents will flag this to you first, and the issue will usually require sensitive handling and the possible involvement of other agencies such as CAMS, the GP, and other therapists. At this time, parents will be concerned about their children in all areas: education, attainment, as well as mental health. They'll require advice, care, and support. Number 4, health issue. This is probably quite rare, but worth noting. As we're often the people who spend a significant amount of a week with a child, we may observe changes which could indicate a health issue. One of our writers once told me she walked into a classroom and noticed a child was looking pale, with black circles under her eyes, and had also lost some weight. She took her concerns to her manager, who then asked her to phone the parents. The parents were unconcerned and said the child seemed fine at home, but of course they'd get their child checked over at the doctor's. This involvement of the parents was crucial, as the child was very unwell and required treatment. What this says is we're the eyes and ears at school. And it's not just about education. We act in loco parentis. We act in place of the parents when in school, so must act if concerned. We're trained to do our roles in a school, but we're so much more. We need to involve the parents in our concerns and get them on board to work together with the school or take over the care of their child. Number 5, positive results. Involving a parent in a positive way can be a reminder of why we've chosen to be in education. Whilst we've acknowledged that pressures on our teaching day are hard sometimes, a little nod to acknowledge that pupil who you see a real gift in can be the catalyst to raise students' morale. So make sure to praise them for their outstanding work, attitude, or skill. So that call from school that can make a parent's heart hit the ground, because as a parent, it's easy to think the worst. But words such as, I just had to acknowledge the outstanding achievement of Harry in his geography exam. It was the highest in the year group and he has a real interest in this subject. Can make a real difference to the parents and child by involving them in the positives. Anything out of the ordinary in a school day or school week can add to the pressures upon teachers, and involving parents can be time consuming. The phone call or the meeting after school just adds to your day's work. However, the benefits can be immeasurable. In some cases, once the pupil's aware that home and school are communicating, can sometimes be enough to bring about change. Sometimes more action is needed, support plans in place, set days or times for the pupils to attend school, or referral to other agencies such as an educational psychologist. And whilst time consuming, it's absolutely crucial to involve the parents of your children. As the Children's Commissioner, Dame Rachel D'Souza, has stated, parents are so fundamentally important to children's success in education. While children spend 6 hours each day in school, the rest of the time they spend at home. This means that parents are vital partners in a child's education. If you're finding our videos helpful, why not share them with a friend? And if you're working in education in any capacity, we'd love to hear about topics that you would like us to cover here at My Progression. I've been Natalie from My Progression. and let's keep your career in motion.